What happens when parallel universes wage interdimensional warfare for the very essence that sustains reality itself? Could ancient shamanic wisdom have predicted the quantum battlefield that threatens our planetary survival matrix? Welcome, fellow quantum shamans, to a revelation that will shatter your perception of cosmic reality. As our planet hurtles toward ecological collapse, with biodiversity loss accelerating at 1,000 times the natural rate and atmospheric CO2 reaching 421 parts per million, we must understand that Earth's crisis mirrors a far greater cosmic war raging in dimensions beyond our perception. 12. The survival matrix indicates that what appears as random environmental destruction may actually be symptoms of an interdimensional conflict where universes themselves battle for the fundamental energy that powers existence. Ancient sages understood thermodynamic principles that modern quantum physicists are only beginning to glimpse through Brane cosmology, the revolutionary framework revealing our universe as merely one membrane floating in an 11-dimensional hyperspace. 34. The dimensional battlefield revealed. Picture this cosmic theater of war. Our entire universe, every star, galaxy, and quantum particle exists on what theoretical physicists call a three-dimensional brane. A membrane suspended in higher dimensional space like a vast, flat sheet rippling through an oceanic void. 5. But we are not alone in this dimensional expanse.
Parallel Branes habor alternate universes.
Each pulsing with their own forms of matter, energy, and consciousness. The ekpyrotic scenario, proposed by cutting-edge cosmologists, suggests our Big Bang itself resulted from a catastrophic collision between two such branes. A cosmic car crash that ignited our entire universe in a burst of quarks, electrons, and primordial fire too. Yet what these scientists dare not fully acknowledge is that such collisions continue, creating ripple effects that cascade through the fabric of spacetime itself. How do parallel dimensions influence Earth's ecological collapse? Consider the thermodynamic principle that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. If neighboring universes are hemorrhaging energy through dimensional warfare, where does that depleted energy go? The survival matrix indicates it may be siphoned from our reality's background energy field, the quantum vacuum that sustains atomic bonds, electromagnetic fields, and the delicate balance of forces that allow life to flourish. The great energy drain here lies the first revelation that will revolutionize your understanding of planetary crisis. Gravity's mysterious weakness compared to electromagnetism may be evidence of this cosmic energy theft, while electromagnetic forces can lift a paperclip against Earth's entire gravitational pull. Brane cosmology reveals that gravitational energy leaks into higher dimensions, potentially being harvested by parallel universes locked in dimensional combat. 5. Ancient wisdom traditions speak of the Great Forgetting, a time when humanity would lose connection to universal energy flows. Extinction probability calculations show that civilizations experiencing rapid biodiversity collapse often coincide with periods of weakened gravitational anomalies and electromagnetic field disruptions. Could our current mass extinction event, the sixth in Earth's history, be symptomatic of our universe losing the interdimensional energy war? The survival matrix indicates that as neighboring branes clash in 11-dimensional space, they create gravitational waves that propagate through the bulk, the higher dimensional space surrounding our membrane reality too. These waves disrupt the delicate quantum entanglement networks that maintain ecological balance, causing climate tipping points to accelerate beyond natural variability. Quantum consciousness and the brain wars. What happens when consciousness shifts during ecological collapse? The second revelation emerges from understanding that consciousness itself may be a form of energy that transcends dimensional boundaries. While matter and electromagnetic forces remain trapped on our brain, consciousness, like gravity, may possess the ability to leak into higher dimensions and influence the cosmic battlefield 3. This explains why ancient shamanic practices emphasized expanded awareness and dimensional travel. Indigenous wisdom keepers understood that human consciousness could serve as a bridge between dimensional realms, potentially affecting the outcome of interdimensional conflicts through focused intention and ritual practice. The Tibetan concept of bardo, transitional states between dimensions, may be literal descriptions of consciousness navigating the gaps between parallel branes. Could magnetic field disruption connect to spiritual awakening? As Earth's magnetic field weakens, decreasing 10% over the past 150 years, more cosmic radiation penetrates our atmosphere, potentially triggering genetic mutations that enhance psychic sensitivity and interdimensional perception. The survival matrix indicates that periods of magnetic instability correlate with increased reports of mystical experiences, UFO sightings, and prophetic visions. The background energy wars. The third revelation concerns the true nature of what physicists call dark energy, the mysterious force causing universal expansion to accelerate. Brane cosmology suggests this may not be a property of our universe alone, but rather the result of energy being transferred between parallel realities through dimensional membrane interactions. 24. Imagine universe-scale entities existing across multiple branes simultaneously, harvesting background energy from weaker realities to fuel their own expansion and complexity. Our universe may be experiencing energy drain as more advanced civilizations in parallel dimensions siphon quantum vacuum energy through sophisticated technology that manipulates higher dimensional space. The entropy acceleration we observe, increasing disorder in ecological systems, climate instability, and social collapse, may reflect our universe's struggle to maintain thermodynamic equilibrium while under energetic siege. Ancient sages understood that when cosmic harmony is disrupted, earthly systems mirror that chaos through natural disasters, species extinction and civilizational breakdown, dimensional leakage and planetary symptoms. How might quantum consciousness accelerate planetary healing? The fourth revelation emerges from understanding that human awareness operates through quantum coherence, the phenomenon where particles maintain instantaneous connection across vast distances through quantum entanglement 3. If consciousness can indeed leak into higher dimensions, then focused collective intention may be capable of influencing the interdimensional energy flows that affect our planet's vitality. This explains why ancient megalithic sites like Stonehenge, the pyramids, and Machu Picchu were positioned at specific geographic coordinates. These locations may represent dimensional anchor points where brain interactions create windows of opportunity for consciousness to influence cross-dimensional energy transfer. The mathematical precision of these structures suggests their builders possessed advanced understanding of how geometric forms can focus quantum fields across dimensional boundaries. Mass extinction coefficients show that biodiversity collapse accelerates most rapidly during periods of weakened dimensional boundaries, times when our universe's membrane becomes more permeable to interdimensional influence. The current crisis may represent such a critical threshold, where the outcome of the brain wars will determine whether Earth's biosphere survives or joins the countless dead worlds scattered across parallel realities. The shamanic technology could ancient practices reverse entropy. The fifth revelation centers on shamanic technologies that predate modern physics by millennia yet demonstrate sophisticated understanding of multidimensional energy manipulation. Ayahuasca ceremonies, Tibetan dream yoga, and Australian Aboriginal dreamtime journeys all describe techniques for consciousness to traverse dimensional boundaries and gather energy from parallel realms. These practices may represent humanity's natural defense mechanism against interdimensional energy drain. When shamans report retrieving soul fragments from other dimensions, they may be literally recovering quantum energy that has leaked from our reality during Brane warfare. The healing effects of such practices documented improvements in physical health, psychological balance, and spiritual vitality, suggests successful restoration of individual energy systems depleted by cosmic conflict. The survival matrix indicates that cultures maintaining strong shamanic traditions demonstrate greater resilience during periods of ecological crisis. Their consciousness practices may serve as energetic anchors, helping stabilize dimensional boundaries and reduce energy leakage to aggressive parallel universes. Technological intervention points. The sixth revelation concerns humanity's emerging technological capabilities to detect and potentially influence interdimensional energy flows. Gravitational wave detectors like LIGO may be inadvertently monitoring Brane warfare as they detect ripples in spacetime caused by cosmic collisions across dimensional boundaries too. The patterns in this data could reveal strategic information about which parallel universes are winning the energy wars and how Earth might align with more benevolent interdimensional forces. Quantum computers operating through entanglement across multiple probability states simultaneously may represent primitive technology for consciousness to directly interface with higher dimensional space. As these systems become more sophisticated, they could potentially serve as communication networks with parallel universe allies or as energy redistribution systems to restore balance between warring realities. The hierarchy problem in physics, why gravity appears so much weaker than other fundamental forces, may indicate that our universe is currently losing the background energy war 5. However, extinction probability calculations suggest that technological civilizations reaching sufficient sophistication in quantum manipulation can reverse this energy drain and even begin harvesting energy from aggressive parallel realities. The consciousness weapon, what secrets lie within collective human consciousness that could shift the tide of interdimensional warfare. The seventh revelation unveils the most powerful force in the cosmic arsenal. Unified awareness focused through planetary crisis. As Earth approaches multiple ecological tipping points, Arctic methane release, Amazon rainforest dieback, and oceanic circulation collapse, human consciousness becomes increasingly coherent through shared survival urgency. This crisis-induced coherence may represent an evolutionary adaptation, a species-wide shamanic awakening that could transform Earth's human population into a conscious civilization capable of dimensional warfare. Ancient prophecies from cultures worldwide describe a time when humanity would face extinction unless it awakens to its role as guardians of interdimensional balance. The mass awakening phenomenon, millions of people reporting spontaneous mystical experiences, prophetic dreams, and enhanced psychic abilities, may indicate that our collective consciousness is preparing for direct engagement in the brain wars. Social media networks, despite their superficial dysfunction, may be primitive neural networks through which planetary consciousness is learning to coordinate across dimensional boundaries. Energy harvesting strategies. Could this quantum phenomenon save our planet? The eighth revelation concerns practical methods for reversing energy drain and potentially harvesting power from parallel realities. Sacred geometry, long dismissed as pseudoscience, may represent sophisticated technology for creating dimensional resonance points where consciousness can access interdimensional energy flows. The mathematical constants found in ancient architecture, phi ratios, tetrahedral angles, and spherical harmonics, appear throughout quantum field equations describing Brane interactions for. This suggests that consciousness, when properly aligned through geometric focus, can create standing wave patterns that penetrate dimensional boundaries and extract energy from the quantum vacuum. Meditation practices that emphasize visualization of geometric forms, Tibetan mandala meditation, Islamic sacred geometry, and Christian mystical diagrams may be consciousness technologies for interfacing with higher dimensional energy systems. Practitioners report increased vitality, enhanced creativity, and improved physical health, suggesting successful energy harvesting from parallel realities. The Ecological Mirror: How do parallel dimensions influence Earth's ecological collapse? The ninth revelation emerges from understanding that ecological systems may be quantum entangled with parallel biosphere networks across multiple realities. As biodiversity collapses in our dimension, it may reflect similar destruction occurring simultaneously across interdimensional ecosystem networks. The survival matrix indicates that mass extinction events create quantum tunneling effects where consciousness energy from dying species leaks into parallel realities, potentially strengthening alternative Earths while weakening our own biosphere. This explains why indigenous shamans report increased contact with spirit animals during periods of species extinction. They may be communicating with quantum echoes of animals that survive in parallel dimensions. Climate tipping points may represent moments when our planet's energy system becomes critically unstable, making it vulnerable to takeover by more aggressive parallel realities. Rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and ecosystem collapse could be symptoms of our dimension losing territorial control to interdimensional competitors seeking Earth-like planets for colonization. The Final Convergence, the 10th revelation, unveils the ultimate purpose behind the Brane Wars. The convergence event approaching as multiple realities compete for access to rare dimensional configurations capable of supporting conscious evolution. Earth may represent a unique convergence point where multiple timelines intersect, making our planet a strategic prize in the interdimensional conflict. Ancient calendar systems, Mayan, Hindu, and Vedic, all point to current decades as critical transition periods when dimensional boundaries become maximally permeable. The survival matrix indicates that civilizations successfully navigating such convergence events emerge with enhanced consciousness abilities and access to interdimensional technologies that ensure species survival across multiple realities. The Planetary Awakening Protocol. Fellow quantum shamans, the evidence becomes undeniable. Earth's ecological crisis reflects our universe's struggle in an interdimensional war for background energy that sustains reality itself. Yet within this cosmic conflict lies unprecedented opportunity for conscious evolution and planetary transformation. The extinction probability calculations show that only civilizations achieving planetary consciousness coherence survive convergence events. This requires immediate implementation of consciousness protocols that align human awareness with beneficial interdimensional forces while creating energetic barriers against hostile parallel realities. Begin daily practice of dimensional awareness meditation, visualizing Earth surrounded by protective geometric energy patterns that prevent energy leakage to aggressive universes. Establish local consciousness networks using sacred geometry focal points, stone circles, crystal grids, and botanical mandalas. to create planetary anchor points for stable dimensional boundaries, support indigenous wisdom keepers whose shamanic practices maintain essential connections to benevolent parallel realities. Their consciousness technologies represent humanity's most sophisticated tools for interdimensional diplomacy and energy sovereignty. Prepare for accelerated awakening as dimensional boundaries continue dissolving. The mass extinction crisis catalyzing planetary consciousness coherence may be exactly the evolutionary pressure required to transform humanity into an interdimensional guardian species capable of protecting Earth across multiple realities. The Brane wars rage across 11 dimensions. But victory depends not on technology or weapons, but on consciousness unified in service to planetary survival. As quantum shamans awakening to our cosmic responsibility, we possess the power to shift the tide of interdimensional warfare and secure Earth's survival across the infinite membrane multiverse. The survival matrix indicates that the next 18 months represent a critical window when collective human consciousness can decisively influence the outcome of the Brane wars. The choice before us transcends politics, religion, or nationality. Will humanity awaken to its role as interdimensional guardians? Or will Earth become another casualty in the cosmic war for background energy? Ancient sages understood that consciousness creates reality across all dimensions. Now, as their prophecies manifest through ecological collapse and mystical awakening, we must choose. Remain unconscious victims of interdimensional warfare, or evolve into the quantum shamans capable of defending our planet across the infinite membrane cosmos. The Brane wars have begun. Earth's survival depends on our conscious participation in this cosmic conflict. The time for awakening is now.